Over to you.
Next question.
Next question.
Okay, I have a question for the far side of the house. Corporate philanthropy is defined as corporate giving to a charitable organisation, and Porter and Craner suggest that charitable giving can be used to improve the competitive context of an organisation. Now, on a global level, there's the example of, say, Pampers and UNICEF, one pack equals one vaccine. Now, it's a very simple concept. They only donate something like 1 cent from every pack of the Pampers to give vaccines in third world countries. However, they have gained a competitive advantage over Huggies by taking this approach. So do you not think that this approach could be mapped onto an Irish firm and done on a smaller scale to overcome direct competitors, especially in recessionary times?
You said that on a small scale. I don't think Irish companies have the same economies of scale that they would have.
What I'm saying is, if there's two direct competitors, you know, if they can do something small and give to a charity and be seen by the consumers giving to a charity, I think people who see one company giving to a charity and one company not, if there's very little difference in the price, they're going to be more likely to go with the company who's giving to a charity. So although it's only a small thing they're doing, they're going to gain a competitive advantage over the person who isn't doing it.
That's what might do. That's what might do. People might.
Well, there's evidence of it with the
there's evidence of that on a global scale, different, not an island.
Yeah, as we know.
We're talking here about profitability, which is a tangible thing that you can measure, etc. You can see profits, you can see monetary benefits. CSR is an intangible thing. You can't see the effect that it has on profits. You can't physically see this is bringing in certain money. You made the point that if they did take in this 1 cent per nappy or whatever that point was, sorry, I didn't mean to not know what the point was, but basically it will reduce your profitability. It won't reduce your profitability, it'll increase your costs, which is in turn going to reduce your economies of scale.
They actually mapped onto more sales because people bought more packs of Pampers rather than buying Huggies. So they actually sold more than they would have if they didn't do this campaign, and there's facts and figures to back it up.
My question was, Pampers always more popular. Wasn't Pampers?
You're saying CSR is intangible. That's the same. You don't know exactly how much profit is. We have one statistic, you have different statistics. But then you look at advertising and things like that. How do you actually measure then at the end what profits made of difference through a particular advertisement? You can't. You just keep trying these different things. And if CSR has been tried and it's been shown that there's been a difference, otherwise they won't keep implementing it.
Come back to your question, you asked us, do we think this could be transcribed onto a profitable Irish business? But you mentioned Pampers are an absolutely massive global company, and I don't think an Irish company would have the same economy if they wouldn't be able. The reason that they can do that at such a low cost and not detract from the profit is because they are so big. Because they're so big, they can have economies of scale. But you even admitted yourself it would be transcribing it onto a smaller scale for an Irish business. So there is a high likelihood that by doing that, there'd be a higher cost base, which would mean that it would detract from their profits.
Yeah, my point would
Yeah,
just
we'll
be
have
that.
one more question to the floor, and then that's it. We solve the time. One more question.
We got questions, sir. Do you have a question?
Does anyone have a question?
Well, actually, because this one has gotten 2 questions already.
Yeah.
No.
Does anyone have a question for another team?
No, not at all.
Does anyone have any other questions?
Alright guys, this is the question for and against.
Ado, for against. Any
No,
question
for against, sorry.
Okay, you have the question, please. You have the question.
Well, I have a question for the against party. As you mentioned that corporate performance has close relationship with corporate social responsibility performance. And you have given us some statistics according to some survey. But I'm wondering that there are several factors can contribute to the corporate performance. So how do you differentiate the other factors from the corporate social responsibility activities?
That's basically what I was saying. Like, there's intangible things that you do, and you keep trying different things. Like if you try different type of advertising or something like that, you will see what works best in the end, and they found that implementing CSR has worked. It's a mixture of things. You can't actually just pinpoint exactly what, but they have found, according to our statistics, that 68% found a link between the two, CSR being implemented and it being more profitable.
Point of view too.
Take over yours.
Right, I agree with you, it is quite intangible in that aspect. It's hard to say that CSR is going to work or it isn't going to work in some cases. But what you can guarantee is that your costs are going to rise if you do CSR. Your sales might increase, you might not, but your costs are definitely going to rise. And if you just, it's safe to just stick about, like Ryanair, they keep their costs low, they don't bother with CSR. Highly profitable business, they know where they're at. They do aggressive expansion from Ireland everywhere. And no CSR, there's no need.
Well, like all these big companies, if it was so plain and simple as too expensive to do it, all these big companies wouldn't do it. All these huge global companies and Irish companies invest in CRH or CSH. And they wouldn't, if it wasn't benefits and profits to be made from it, they wouldn't do it. Plain and simple as that.
They wouldn't want to be seen to be left behind.
Well,
And there's companies that are surviving without doing it. Still a massive company.
your Ryanair example, like that's quite extreme because Ryanair are so successful because they're low cost. Their strategy was low cost. They're not successful because
One of the most successful Irish businesses of recent times. This is focusing on the Irish business market, and there's shining example.
yeah, one extreme example.
Just like, oh, sorry, 2 more minutes.
When you knock out CRH, they're an Irish company. They operate in 36 different.
Or what the CRA do?
They're a cement industry.
Yeah,
Cement sold holdings. They're one of the biggest companies in the world.
the average consumer is going to say, the average consumer is going to say, I'm going to buy cement from CRA because they, you know, you just go to the local, you go to
One speaker, one
Like CRH have like shops that you can walk into and buy paving for your backyard and cement for your backyard.
That's a tradesman. That's a tradesman.
No, they have actual stores. We do reports.
One speaker.
One speaker. Louisa.
You all talk about corporate social responsibility and a positive effect on actual sales, but no one actually discussed the fact that if you don't have corporate social responsibility, will it have a negative impact on sales? And for Nike, that actually did happen when they were. It was revealed that they had negative working practices and low wage rates in the third world countries. They did have negative sales because of a lack of corporate social responsibility, and there were boycotts in Ireland because of this, and they had to change their motives, and they have much better wages now, much better corporate social responsibility programs now.
That was poor ethical performance by the company.
Pardon me?
That was poor ethical performance.
Ethics is an element of
But I think that there's a certain standard that's accepted. I think that's not that they weren't practicing corporate social responsibility, as in they were well below even what is expected out of any company at any level. I mean, they were just malpractice. That was just illegal malpractice. It's not that they weren't. That doesn't mean that they should have been paying their employees like whatever. I just think that was an extreme example where a company was just doing something really wrong. We're talking about the companies that, when you said there doesn't have a negative effect, we've given a couple of examples of where they aren't using it and they are still extremely profitable. So I think we're still trying out there is a connection.
Well, you're saying it was illegal. Legal is actually part of corporate social responsibility.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, the law and corporate social responsibility are two different things.
For sure. Yeah,
You
it's
can't
also
bring
part of
one
legal.
speaker.
Near Bradley.
It's in your pyramid. Yeah, there is a pyramid.
Sorry, it's going on. Next door.